You have to get in the picture, Rabbi Lowenbraun. You have to be in the picture. You have to be in the picture, Rabbi Lowenbraun. Jolt 87.
Okay. You come for the picture?
Yeah, Rabbi Lowenbraun, you have to be in the picture, Rabbi.
1 second. I gotta play with this guy's date. That's all.
Say cheese.
Yeah, Rabbi Lowenbraun, you have to be in the picture, Rabbi. Rabbi, you have to be in the picture. Rabbi, get in there, will you?
About what? 15 more to go?
This is Warsaw. Warsaw have mostly a W at the beginning.
What's
How
R?
do you stop it?
So what R?
What that?
You saw one R. What's R from?
R. I want to like R is like a rabbit.
Yeah, but I don't know which province has R.
What S?
It is, distributed by provinces. Maybe Rzeszów, maybe something else.
I better figure out how to stop it.
Private what?
How many provinces?
Provinces.
How many provinces?
Provinces. We have 49 provinces.
How many states?
Our provinces are like states.
I gotta go.
We have only provinces.
You had it on standby.
What?
You had it on standby the whole time.
You're out there. Why is it so dark?
What?
Why is the thing so dark?
The residence of Princes
But I can't get the stop.
That's how you know it's on standby. When it's dark, you know it's on standby.
No, it says run.
What? I can't get the stop now. I gotta go, but I can't get the stop.
You're on a roll.
Yeah, now you are.
So along this street,
How did you get that up
Jolt.
Since money, zloty. Dollar zloty.
Tiffany Lowenberg. Where are you from, Tiffany?
I'm from Memphis, and Elvis lives there, and we like to, and he's having problems, and I'm babbling. This
Where
is
you
our
from?
dog.
This is our dog Fido.
Memphis?
This is our dog Fido. Memphis, Tennessee.
How come you don't sound like you're from Memphis?
Well, I could if I talk like this, but I don't. Nothing.
You're putting it on. I can tell you're putting it on.
Howie, I think you forgot to undo the...
How come?
We're losing our group.
How
We've
come?
lost our group.
Tell me, Tiffany. What are you doing to my camera? You're breaking my
What am I
camera.
doing tomorrow?
At least turn around and get in the picture.
Wait, what am I doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, I'm going to, what are we doing? We're going to the Warsaw Ghetto tomorrow, and I don't know what else we're doing. And we're making
We
a
are making
scene.
history.
We go into the...
How much are the horse rides?
How much? How much? 10 minutes.
Get on, everyone, fill on.
how long have you been running? Good day.
I'll get in this. I'll get in this.
Wait, smile.
Hello.
Say something.
Hi.
Hi. Very nice.
So, he's from New York.
Are you?
He's here on this tour called Jolt. And you're from where?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Tennessee.
You ever hear Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
Where Elvis died.
I'm from Baltimore. Cleveland.
All United States, huh?
Right.
Talk to the camera. Okay.
I went to Montreal in Canada, Montreal, and Niagara Falls. We went to the gorge with like the waterfalls and everything. Yeah, it was really neat.
I rode on the boat ride through the, the Maid of the Mist boat ride.
Yeah. Did you walk up the steps on the side of the mountain?
No, we didn't get to
That was so neat. It was on the American side. It was really neat. It was great.
We were on the Canadian side.
Really? We stayed on the Canadian side. Did you go on like the tower that like rotated?
Tower.
To eat dinner?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
So long.
You finished? Not yet.
Not yet.
Hi, I'm Keith Hatling, and I'm on Jolt. I'm in the Jolt program.
I'm on Jolt.
And we're visiting right now. We're visiting downtown Warsaw. It's a very beautiful place. You can see the old city of Warsaw, which is quite beautiful.
Hi, I'm Cindy Wagner from HRS New York Queens place. We're in the old city of Warsaw, and I don't know what to say. Please, somebody help me here.
I'm her friend, Rachel Schreiber. and this is my friend, Rachel, I forget your name, P something, right? Fadayo.
What do you have to say about this trip?
It's great. It's great. We get to get stared at by everybody. It's great.
How are you ready for it?
Let's get your nose.
Cafe, and there's no cafe. So we walk in and there's down this long corridor and then we're down this winding staircase into like the cellar. And there's this little cafe with like 3 tables.
It's a little cafe with three tables. We're looking for Coke, right? So we go to the lady there. She speaks zero English. Okay, only we say, excuse me, Coca-Cola? And so she looks at us, she goes, Coca-Cola? Yeah,
yes.
Okay.
She made us sit down.
So she makes us sit down and then she brings it over to us and she gives us our bill. Okay, now it says 20.2, okay? So we couldn't figure out if that meant 202 zlotys or it meant whatever it is. Or 20.2.
Robin Leach of Lifestyles of the Poles and the Chicks.
Here we go. Hi, Rabbi Lowenbraun. Hi. Jolt 87.
A few miles.
This one. Always, this is a copy. It's not the original one. Because the copy done after the war, rebuilt. Over there, we'll be passing afterwards. You see the round fortress called Barbicane, 56 kilometers. It goes from the south to the north to the Baltic Sea. And to go back to pass the new old city of Warsaw.
New old city?
New old city. This is the old city. This is the old city.
I'm trying. You okay? Right there, I got the whole thing. Got the whole thing?
What is blue lips you got? Sarah, what's your blue lips?
It's lip gloss. No, it's not. It's zinc. My lips are killing me. That's all she had. What am I supposed to do?
No, sleep till Warsaw. No, sleep. Come on, get him scratches.
Don't. When you take the pictures, take it slow, all right? Now I want to keep moving, right? Keeps moving.
Is it moving? Yeah, it is. We're taping and you just said that.
Wait. Let's walk into it. Okay, come on. Alan. Come on, you'll be left behind. Turn it on.
Get on video. Get the her.
Smile, you're on Canada.
Careful.
What do you take pictures of? What?
Get the windowsills.
Should I go all over, Rob?
Get the windowsills. Or the cross. Get that one on the bottom right there, the white one.
Christian town. Christian.
See what I'm talking about?
Christian.
Go down, go low. Right there, get the windowsill, the cross. Get the windowsill.
Let me see it. Let me see what it looks like in the picture.
Purpose?
Yep. You have it?
Yeah.
Does it say run?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, you see it better now?
Oh, yeah.
Just get him walking forward. Don't.
Who was fighting for freedom of the country. And on the both sides of these pillars, you see the names of the battlefields from the First and the Second World War, but also some battlefields from so-called Spanish.
In the Eastern Europe, the Volksstamme, and he was a native of Warsaw and was a member of the Warsaw Ghetto, and he is going to speak in Yiddish and I'm going to translate for you.
Auf Demo, die gefühlt sich gut, ist gestanden in der Synagoge. Es hat geheißen, die Tomatske Synagoge.
On this place was the synagogue, Tomatska Synagogue.
Das ist die schönste Synagoge in Polen.
This was the largest and most beautiful synagogue in Poland.
Die sind herausgetreten, die größten Chaziden für die Welt.
The greatest Chazanim campers in the world was at this synagogue.
Moshe Kosovitsky, Gershon Sirota, and others.
Moshe Kosovitsky, Gershon Sirota, and others.
Der Aufstand der Warschauer Ghetto, wie ihr weiß, ist ausgebrochen im 43. Jahr 1943. Der Aufstand der Warschauer Ghetto.
The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising was in May of 1943.
So, excuse me.
Wenn der Ghetto-Aufstand entbrochen ist, Aufstand um Kapitolieren.
Yeah.
Und von Stroh, die General-SS, gekomen waren von Stroh. Der heißt, das gewesen am 16. Mai. 16. Mai ist 1943 Juni. Und der General von Stroh heißt, Öffentlichkeits der Synagoge.
Okay, when on the 16th of May, 1943,
16. Mai.
The 16th of May 1943, the German commandant Van Straub ordered them to destroy the synagogue.
Die hat gegeben ein Telegramm, eine Depesche zu Hitler. Das Judentum in Warschau existiert nicht mehr. Die Synagoge geworden aufgerissen.
Yeah, and he sent a telegram to Hitler saying that the Jewish community no longer exists and that he had destroyed the synagogue.
Auf dem Ort ist die gestandene Synagoge, hat er Gebäude im nosigen Linien, im nosigen Gegend.
And this place was the synagogue, and they just put up this.
Aber es ist charakteristisch. Aber heute bis in 20 Jahren, und wir können nicht verändigen. Es kommt sich Zeit und Wasser.
Right, and it's characteristic that the building is for 20 years, and they can't build on it because there's water on the ground.
Suchen die religiöse Polaken, die Katholiken suchen, dass Gott der Leute, also bei ihm wohnt so steiner zwei Leute, sie gestalten die Synagoge.
And religious Catholics say that God is not allowing that they should rebuild anything on the place where the synagogue is.
Nur auf einmal, das Haus ist wie Vater noch kommen. Du hast zu gefunden die judaistische Bibliothek.
On this building was the Jewish library. The bibliothek was the library.
This building, which we are now looking at, used to be the Jewish Library of Poland in Warsaw.
The director of this particular building was
Die Zeit für die Milchung, die Zeit die Nazis, haben du in den Linien hereingeführt Möbel. Das Möbel ist Ziegel in Batterien im Ghetto, haben wir da hereingeführt.
Any furniture that they took from the ghetto was kept in this building. That they took from the Jewish people in the ghetto.
All the furniture and put it in this building?
Yes.
Das ist nur ein Magazin für Möbel. Heute befindet sich der jüdische historische Institut.
Now, yes, all the furniture they put in there was put in there, and yeah, and today it is the Jewish Historical Institute.
So werden gesammelt Dokumenten, verschiedene Dokumenten, alles das eigenes der jüdischen Martyrertum, jüdischen Umtum, jüdischen Volk.
Right, and this they have all documents on the Jewish history. And get the picture right here. A picture. Come on up here, everyone. Come on, take a picture.
Then just you
Get up here, everyone. Take a picture here.
the group has to be in.
Documented daily. Everyone come up here. Emmanuel Ringelblum.
Wait.
Hid
How many
milk
pictures
spread.
are taken?
Everyone up here.
Just walking in, Keith. Now back
We are now walking in.
to the Jewish Institute. Wait, I have it written down. The Jewish Historical
Are we going
Institute. Right across from the Great Synagogue. Okay.
We are now
In
about
this building,
Yes.
there was there was the furniture, all the furniture taken from the Jews was put into the library.
During the Warsaw,
I'm getting it.
during the occupation of the Nazis and the roundup of the Jews of Poland, and especially of Warsaw, all their belongings were taken out of their houses and put into this museum. Put into actually right then it was just a building which was made just to hold the Jewish belongings. They were stripped of all of their personal belongings, but yet they still had their heritage. What?
Yes. Maar je hebt mijn zijn telefoon.
Here. Don't take pictures, it's going to be in the way. Things that were taken from Jewish synagogues and Jewish
that were taken by Jewish artists who were murdered and martyred by the Nazis. They were murdered by the Nazis. After the war, they were found in Polish homes and they were brought back into here. This picture over here on the right is a very famous picture that I've seen in the United States. And through the efforts, they saved a lot of pictures.
Done by artists? Jewish artists? Jewish artists?
Jewish artists, yeah,
Je bent altijd alleen in de reiniging van de Red Sea, so da stimmen ein Mensch.
Wait, the pictures of Jewish artists or by Jewish?
These are originals.
It's probably a Gemara, huh?
This is the declaration that a rabbi would have smicha.
Take pictures of the tapestries.
In this sculpture, we can see members trying to flee Poland and flee Warsaw, and you see the agony and the pain in their faces as they run and shelter each other.
Can we sit with them and pose? Leaving Egypt or leaving Israel, or, you know.
This was probably made by a Jewish sculpture picturing, looks like a march of tears, as a matter of fact. Very, very sad.
And was burned down by Nazis during Warsaw Ghetto uprising. Then it was rebuilt after a war, but you can still see traces of fire on the floor. Our institute organizes scientific researches on Jewish history in Poland, organizes specialistic library, archives, and museum. Here you can see some publications of our scientists. There are some documents and books from our library. And our exhibition is divided in two parts. The first one shows Jewish art, artistic handicraft, ritual objects. The second one, martyrology, especially Warsaw Ghetto uprising. And here is the beginning of the Stula River. This wedding canopy is from the end of 19th century, and this is probably the oldest parapet in our collection from 18th century.
What year?
We don't know the second part of 18th century. No date.
That pictures and everything? You're panning too fast. You're moving too fast.
Yeah, before I got a scan of it all.
You stick on it. You have to stick to it. Are you?
And most of these pictures are by Jewish artists. By this one, for example, is authorized by the Polish painter.
If you move to stop for a second, hold it and get the photographs and hold it.
Yeah. The Warsaw. Okay. Okay. I'll be met with you. flash in this. Howie's reflecting off the glass right now, though.
Sorry, Keith.
Howie, you're reflecting off.
It is silver.
It's still saying it always did.
The city was destroyed
It was destroyed at the end of the Warsaw Uprising.
Okay, when the only thing that was remaining from that synagogue was the. You're going to talk about that, right?
I'm not sure if it is from the synagogue. Only remains a piece of coal.
Okay.
Yes.
We are sure that the only thing that was left after they destroyed the synagogue was this menorah. They're not sure if that's the menorah that was from there, but for sure that was the column that the menorah was standing on.
As in keeping with the Nazi doctrine, no nation would live longer than documents of its culture. So from the beginning, they started to destroy everything. And here we present ritual objects and objects of art found in ruin. So that's here we have photographs showing first days of the Nazi occupation.
Just let me just get around.
All these photographs are taken by Nazis as documents of their action. Here you have profanated synagogues, the halls here, for example. Jewish shops with special signs.
Okay.
Women selling bands, identification bands. Jews were obliged to wear such a bands.
Okay, that's the Nazi synagogue was turned into a stable, and you can see the horses in that synagogue. You see the horses right over there. You can see a horse, and this is the shul. And this lady was selling, as a living, she was selling the identification bands.
Yes. And here you can see profanated Holy Torah. These objects are made of the parchment of the Torah. You can still see the traces of letters on it.
Here, look at this. These were all made from Pacific Torah, the drums, the banjo, the shoes. Were all made from leather with the Pacific Torah.
Can you get the toe? I can't get. I want to get both of them together, and then come.
Dus is Amerika kandidaatje op welke gasten hier in Parijs.
This poster says which streets Jews were not allowed to walk on.
Wie bij die gasten kunnen ze dus kijken. Maar hier is de ghetto gewoon eingeschränkt. Dus op die gasten, alle gasten, op die gasten darf ich weiter nicht kijken.
The ghetto is constantly made smaller, and it says over here where they were no longer allowed to go. And what's the name brief?
The Nazi occupation and in Warsaw, about fights in Warsaw in September 1939.
What?
You translate maybe the names of the streets, see if they were all.
Watch out, John. Do you want to watch out?
Sie fragt, wir sind gegangen in die Gassen.
Oh, die gasten? Echt die gasten? Ja, nein.
Kent Sie befragt?
Dat is nein, het is niet die gasten. Het gaat over Słowańskie.
Neben du.
Nein, dus weiter, dat is zeer weit vandaan.
Wir sind gegangen in de oude Barsche.
Nein, das ist die Gast.
No, we weren't around.
Okay.
The street in the Krakow ghetto after deportation. And again, Lodz ghetto.
This is a Lodz ghetto. This is Lodz?
Yes, they were
Yes,
Jewish David stars, as you see, because Lodz was in Reich.
Okay.
Okay, so these are pictures from the ghettos.
Right,
Yes.
these are pictures from the different ghettos.
Right, can we just like look at these pictures first before she goes on? You guys see this? You guys?
Don't get too close because Keith's filming now.
I'm sorry. I apologize for everything I'm doing if I bump into anybody. I'm really sorry.
Everyone here?
Mostly all pictures in our exhibition are taken by Nazis. They are from German archives. As I said, as a documents, taken as a documents. And Halloween, 5 kilometers square. It was divided in two parts, small ghetto and a big ghetto. And these two parts were connected with a bridge. Jewish were obliged to use a bridge. They wasn't allowed to pass across the street. And this is a bridge across Podlast.
But it looks there that it was all part of one. It doesn't look like they were separated. Oh, this is the street that it was separated by?
Yes.
There,
Jews couldn't cross street here. They used a bridge.
so there were two
over
ghettos.
street.
Aber der Ghetto ist von Tag zu Tag geworden eingeschrumpft. Mit einem Kenner. Und mit der Hausgefährt 100.000 Juden, 200.000 Juden von die Gassen, die Juden gewohnt, ist der Ghetto geworden, was haben kleiner und kleiner.
Right. There were 500,000 Jews.
Ja, das ist der jüdische Bezeug. Das ist ein äußeren Ghetto.
The Ringelblum's archive were hidden underground in the Warsaw Ghetto. Dr. Emanuel Ringelblum, Jewish historian, organized these archives. Many people cooperated with him. They collected documents, scientific researches, diaries, everything about Warsaw Ghetto, relations, and so on. And it was found after war in ruins.
Okay.
Dr. Ringelblum, Emanuel Ringelblum, der jüdische Historiker, zusammen im ältesten Naturwissenschaften der Maschine, ist geworden bei Gruppen, die meinten, so bei Gruppen auf Novolitki, auf der Gas Novolitki 68. In der zweiten Teil von Ringelblum-Archiv, in die Fliegung auf die Schwentrielski-Gas.
The Dr. Emanuel Ringelblum took it as his responsibility to make an archive of all the life in the Jewish ghetto. This was hit on which street?
Novolitki 68.
Novolitki 68. And his archive.
So I can pick them up, at least their voices. We should pick them up. Let me just get the voices, get them.
Okay, everyone over here, the Lodz ghetto was an independent. It was run by Chaim Ramkowski, and they ran their whole government. You see, they made their own money, they made their own stamps, and you even see they had this. This is a notebook, and he had his picture in it. They had This money was worth something only in the ghetto.
Here's a memory book of neighbors in the ghetto, something like that. For here is his portrait.
Right. You can see over there the portrait of Bukowski and a memory, a album of the Lodz ghetto. It was called. You see that? He made it on stamps, Judenpost, and the Germans called it Litwinstadt. And he's a very controversial figure, Bukowski. You see that he had.
Come on, act real, like you're really looking into it. You're looking into it.
Der Unterschied zwischen Bukowski und Czerniakow ist der größte Unterschied. Bukowski wie der Kaiser für den Ghetto, oder wie der König für den Ghetto. Und das Gebiet hat durchgeführt alle Befehle von den Nazis.
There's a great difference between Rumkowski and Chernyakov, who was the head of the ghetto here in Warsaw. The long story about it. Yeah, Rumkowski carried out all the German commands under the Utrod, but in the end he also was sent to people of blood.
There's the house and the shoes.
That's the biggest lie, because everyone knows they wore hard wooden shoes, which were very hard for the feet to wear.
Aren't they? They're wooden. They're wooden.
They are wood?
Yeah, look. See the soles?
No, not the sole. I mean, the whole thing used to be like wooden clogs. Wooden clogs used to wear something like that, like wood. Not clogs necessarily, but something like that.
I don't recall.
In ghettos. Oh, let's go ghetto. Ghetto. Ghetto.
That's the building of the
This is the
ghetto wall?
The wall of the Warsaw Ghetto. And Jews were obliged to build it. And here the wall is ready. And here you can see the photograph showing this concentration of Jewish people.
Was this
families going to the ghetto?
Now, was this a Jewish area beforehand, or they just moved everyone who lived out of those buildings out and told all the Jews just to go in there and live?
At the beginning of the occupation, they organized ghetto in each village where Jews lived. And there then they started to concentrate Jews in the bigger ghettos. I will show you the map of the ghettos in Poland in the beginning of the Nazi occupation. Then there was only ghettos in big towns such Lodz, Warsaw, Białystok, and so on. In fact, I don't know, I can't read it, but it is said that it's forbidden to Jew to pass the street or something like that, to do something.
To check in, you mean?
I live here, list of yes,
It's like evidence, which means it's like a voucher.
Now, these are actually the badges that they were wearing?
These bells and these cups and the candlesticks are from the Lodz ghetto, because it was impossible to find anything in the Warsaw ghetto, because it was completely ruined. I will show you there a photograph of the Warsaw ghetto.
Almost all the Jews were in it. About how many people were packed into it?
At the end, in Warsaw Ghetto.
Now, before they started moving everybody out, at the height, when all these people were put into the ghetto, around how many people were there? How many people were stationed in there? And how much area was there?
5 kilometers square.
And 5 square kilometers at 500,000 people? Okay.
We are going over wall.
Were they, and when people took us out, their pockets on the side?
Yes, of course.
What was the punishment for smuggling?
Everyone over here.
Death, of course. And here, this woman is punished to death because she held
Howie.
Jews.
No, this is a Howie.
Written here on the breast, on this paper.
Now, who's the picture with? Who are those people? She was like to be an example.
Because I help Jews.
She's trying to help people.
Is that like before she was
And this is by the Warsaw Ghetto?
No, not in the Warsaw Ghetto.
Just anywhere.
I think that she's a peasant. She looks like.
Went from house to house and destroyed the house.
Und du seht, wie die Jiden springen von Felden von 50 Stock in die brennende
And you
Häuser.
see over here pictures of how Jews were jumping from the 4th and 5th floor from the burning houses.
In die alle Aufnahmen, die sehen, das haben wir gemacht, die Deutschen allein.
Yeah, all these pictures were taken by the Germans themselves.
What for? Why were they taken? What was the
Germans wanted a record of everything that happened. They're very precise.
Although they covered up the...
Also hier kann ich sprechen. Am 16. Mai 1943 haben die Jiden auf Neues auf die gesiegte Jiden wieder uns behalten in der Büchers.
This is when the Jews were uncovered from the bunkers on the 16th of May in the Warsaw Ghetto uprising.
Und dort auf dem Gebiet auf dem Umstadtplatz von Treblinka.
And they were taken from there to the Umschlagplatz and sent to Treblinka. What does she do?
These things are from the Warsaw Ghetto. This shoe is, for example, with a hole for conspiratory movement, for conspiratory paper. To hid a conspiratory paper in it.
Yeah, they had secret compartments. These were 3 Jewish women who were caught by the Nazis and murdered. These are the people who led the Warsaw Ghetto uprising, and this is Mordechai Levitz, who was the head of the Warsaw Ghetto uprising.
Left to the right.
How old is he?
Wie alt is er?
They were 17?
He was 22 years old.
How old were most of the people who participated in the Warsaw Ghetto uprising?
He was the head of Shomer Hatzair. Wie alt zijn die mensen van
Die mensen altijd kunnen zu 30, 25, 27.
25, 30.
Nee, dat is interessant. Zal met Friedrich is eindelijk geen CKI.
And don't put your finger there.
En hij is mitgefahren mit dem Zug. Ein Treblinka. Und da wissen sie, was gefahren mit der Jiden Treblinka. Und er hat gebracht die erste Idee. In Gitter rein.
Thank you.
Treblinka ist toll.
Hold on a second. Girls, he did not look Jewish, and he went on the trains to Treblinka and was to find out what was going on over there, and he was the first one to go there and come back and say what was going on in Treblinka.
Did they believe him?
Get out. Fragt, man hat sich begleitet, was gesucht was.
Zum ersten habe ich geglaubt. Er hat gebracht Fakten, das ist richtig. Das ist, was die Tschernjakob gesetzt.
So black, because the lights went.
Das ist das alte Kapitel, das wir reden dort.
Okay, he said that at first people did not believe it, but then he brought facts, and once the facts were found out, Chernyakov, he committed suicide when he found out what was going on. These are pictures of Hasidim Israelim that they were Polish people who saved. Yeah, that they saved Jews, and they got awards from Yad Vashem.
Und das ist der Schimmel von der alle ausgezeichnete Polacken.
Where all those buildings stood.
Yes, and
Yeah,
this is a monument in Treblinka and Warsaw Ghetto monument. I think that you will see it.
This was all that was left. Do they know about how many people were killed during the uprising, like buried under buildings?
During the Warsaw Ghetto, there were 500 people, and only a small group survived. Some of them were hidden, and then...
Yeah, I heard like even 3 weeks afterwards, everything was burning. They were still hidden in like caves underneath.
What are these?
But
what are these?
So many people, but some of them were in these ruins. They lived there.
Some people might have even lived here.
What are these? Okay, his name was Alexander Picharsky, and he was the one who organized the...
Here we have a Sefer Torah. And we see that they took the parchments from it and used the parchments to make things that were just totally useless. Some of them just musical instruments. That this is very, very holy paper, had words of Kodesh on it. And were just taken and ripped up and used to make drums and banjos and guitars.
These things over here were taken from shuls, and like here are some hadalah for the spices, which were the spices that were taken from every shul and now brought here into this museum. Here you have one of the newest attractions that they have here is a Sefer Torah that came in that was taken from a different shul. And here you have Nora, which was taken from a shul also by
magazine für Mabel, so ein Ziegel bei den Jiden in Ghetto.
This building, which was a library, was used as a storehouse for the foreign furniture they stole from the Jews.
In die ganze Bibliothek, die Bücher, alles Dinge haben sie ausgeführt für Deutschland.
And all the books that were in this library were taken to Germany.
Ja, Sachen ist vernichtet auf dem Loh.
And a lot of them were destroyed right over here.
Nu te gekomen das Gefühl der Amerikaner, Militär der Amerikaner, der Engländer haben zugegeben die Jiden.
Right, and after the war, the Americans and the British returned it to here.
How old was he when this happened?
How old be out in the Gewein in Bakri?
Yeah? 20 years.
He was 20 years old.
And where was he at the time?
What?
Where was he? He was here?
He's in the Gewein in Bakri.
Oh, ich bin gewesen in Ghetto, angetragen.
He lived in the ghetto for a year and a half.
Später mit Deutschen weggenommen, mit Braunschweig. Und verschiedene Städte.
He said then the Germans took him away when he was a
Aber meine Eltern sind die Schwestern, sind alle.
He said his parents and seven sisters were all killed in Treblinka.
Die jüngste Schwester meine ist aufgewesen 6 Jahre.
His youngest sister, Rachel, was 6 years old when she was killed. The oldest sister
was any of his furniture taken here?
What?
Any of his furniture?
Your furniture was here. Da Mabel and his Jews gebracht worden.
Just my Mabel weiß nicht. Oh, it's vaguely.
He said he doesn't know.
But was his furniture confiscated?
Didn't they tell him
before he was moved out?
Mabel, the Nazis?
Oh, yeah, sicher.
They took it, sure they took it.
Russische Geräte.
It was near the Russian border. And then he went to the army.
Polish army, Polish emigration. Polish emigration.
There was Polish citizens who fought for the Russian army. He was a member of the Russian army. And then he fought with General Anders. And then he fought in Iran and Persia with General Anders. This in Europe, they couldn't run away, he was able to escape. There were different circumstances for different people. The Germans took him first from the ghetto. Yes, the work and then Arbeitslager?
No, he was sent to
Just tell.
He said the Germans took him away from here to work in a labor camp.
Go right ahead. Here we see a menorah. It's a piece of artwork, a weaving, and the smoke from the candles comes up together, and you can see faces.
In the ghetto. Get it from this angle over here. Lays at this.
Wir können für den Ersatz, was Sie verstehen wollen. Die Zeiten von dem Vierjährigen. Das ist wegen Vierjährigen sein. Das ist nicht wegen Ghetto. Well, so it's wegen Ghetto.
Can you ask him like to move his hands?
I'll get over the shoulders. Oops, I'm sorry. It's like you guys are saying, what you tell the guy with the camera.
What are you reading in school?
Can I sneak in here? I'm gonna get in trouble now.
Hier is een zatsen. Staat er schrift in.
When was this written about? When do you think this is? Have dates?
Das ist Polish.
Het is schon Jiddisch oder Polish?
Das ist schon Jiddisch.
Was ist das?
Das ist de Finale in Berlin. Er schreibt de Finale in Berlin. Dat is gegeben de richtige. Dat is gegeben de richtige.
Okay, let me sit down. Cindy, I want to get this kind of deal. No, Cindy. John, no, this is important. They want me to do this. Wait a second. Oops, they just want me to do it. I'm sorry, John. I know, I know, but you know, I'm being pushed to do this. I'll sit down in a second. I just want to. Okay, you guys do whatever you want. I'm sorry. No, I just want to get a picture of your feelings. Can you assimilate? Oh, it's bad lighting. Let me get light behind me. You see the anguish in their faces after days and hard fighting. What? What'd you say? These are people, resistance fighters. And one, he has a Molotov cocktail.
Probably one of those. Remember, she was saying downstairs, there was a sculpture with an entry for the memorial.
Let me get the big picture now.
I'll take a picture of it. There's 5-10 minutes you can go around the whole thing and make up stuff if you miss it. 15 seconds.
You want to make up anything? You can make it up. I ain't doing bupkis. Because me and Peter already went back and made it up. Damn, what's going on? Do our Polish children also brought here, like, besides just Jewish or travelers?
They of course learned the lesson of history about
I know they've
Jewish
learned it, but
faith.
are like Polish children ever taken here? I mean, are they? I mean, they might be taken and they might see.
Wait, Keith, get a picture of these cars. These are like the best cars in the world.
Calm down for a minute.
Polski Fiats.
Yeah, because of American visas, you know?
Is it hard to, like, they won't give you American visas?
Usually they don't want.
Right, but
Citizen?
Yes, every third citizen of Warsaw. Every third Warsawian was Jewish.
They said to stop. Are we going the right way? Which way are we going?
Which way are we going?
I don't know.
You're the tour guide.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know where you're going.
Why they stop all that?
I was also wondering.
They are just too lazy.
There are only 400,000 Jews who are in Warsaw itself?
Yes, yes.
And they were all killed?
Just most of them. About over 20,000 Jewish people escaped from Warsaw Ghetto to Polish part of Warsaw. and some of those Jewish people survived.
How many people right now are living in Warsaw?
1.5 million people.
Right now?
Right now.
In Warsaw?
In Warsaw. And before the war, also 1.5 million.
Where are these people living? Are they Orthodox or?
Which people?
The Jewish people, I mean.
Jewish people in Warsaw now?
Yeah.
It is only a few thousand. I think that is not more than 1,000 Jewish people in Warsaw now.
Are they religious?
Very few of them. It's only synagogue in Warsaw. And when I asked chairman of Warsaw Synagogue how many synagogue goers he has, it is about 60 people are visiting synagogue every Shabbat, and about 100 for bigger events.
Before the war, there was only Jewish people.
Verschiedene politische Richtungen, verschiedene jüdische Parteien, Zionisten, Kommunisten, Bundisten, immer diskutiert.
And over here, people in your age, young people, people of all ages would come here, communists, Bundists, Zionists, and they would have discussions and debates.
Jüdische Jugendliche, sie kommen durch eine schwere Arbeit, sie kommen aus der frischen Luft. Hoe om ze bekend met zijn geliefde, zijn meidler. Hoe om ze gaan hier in Zuides. Ik zou niet redden politiek, wat redden liefde, wat redden gelijke dieren. Hoe zijn ik met alle Jiden met beeld, genoemd beeld. Jiden zijn hier gekomen nu de schwere arbeid. Alle, wat is gezegd, geen probleem.
He said that people after a day's work would come here to get some fresh air, or people would come and for romantic pursuits. People would come for discuss literature and books, and it was only Jews, no Poles.
Because the Poles weren't allowed, or just because?
No, just Jewish.
Wat je kunt zien, a bill. Die 3 Jiden sitzen, Jiden mit Beeld, mit Payes, sitzen ungelegt auf der Stecken. Einer allein hat eine jüdische Zeitung, die andere hören sie zu.
I've seen pictures of Jews with beards leaning on the stick while they had other people were listening as he read the Yiddish paper to
Die
them.
Bäume, wie ihr seht, das sind dieselbe Bäume wie mit 50 Jahren zurück.
These trees are the same trees that were there 50 years ago.
Wenn die Bäume wollten die Kinder retten, wollten sie der Zeit, als du nicht gehört hast, Wort Polnisch, du gehört von Jiddisch.
If these trees could talk, they would be able to tell you that all they heard was Yiddish, no Polish, not a word of Polish. You had some car?
A tree.
This is a street named after Mordechai Alalechva, one of the leaders of the Warsaw Ghetto. Get in there, I don't care. It'll get something. It'll get something else to look at, you know. When did you learn about what happened during the Holocaust?
I learned in the school and now on guided courses of Warsaw Guides, which was run by famous Jewish scientist Professor Bernard Mark.
So you only learned during school. You had no idea, like while you were in the south of Poland, what was going on.
Before the school, I was 6 years old. I had no any idea when I was very young. I had no any idea about many other things.
When you were young, did you have any Jewish friends?
I had just I attended to school with my Jewish friends, but most of them they left Poland for Israel or United States.
Sorry, there it goes.
I don't know where I'm walking.
Hey, wait, do you want me to do that?
Sure. Yeah, turn it off. Can you turn it off now?
Yeah.
I can find the buttons. Where is it, dude?
This monument was erected in 1948, Grant. The 5th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising.
Der Projekt für das Denkmal hat geschaffen ein jüdischer Skulptor, wo sie gestorben mit 2 Millionen. Nathan Rappaport.
It was done by the Jewish sculptor who died 2 months ago, Nathan Rappaport.
Den Granit, Sie sehen, das Material, hat er gebracht von Schweden. Verwusst von Schweden. Ich weiß das, aber in Schweden. Weil Hitler hat versucht, den Granit für sich über den Sieg in Europa von dem Euchen Fariner Monument.
This granite, welcher Stein ist das?
Das ist der ganze Stein, das ganze Material.
Aber was für ein Stein ist es? This marble, granite. This granite is from Sweden, and why did they use this granite from Sweden? Because Hitler had planned that when he was victorious over the entire Europe, that he would use this as a monument for himself.
Der jüdische Komitee hat sich geboten zu der schwedischen Regierung. Wir sollen abkäufen mit dosigen Granit. Rein symbolisch. Der Granit, das wir durften, die wären aufgestellt von Hitler, so wären aufgestellt der Götterbeise.
And the Jews requested from the Swedish government that instead of using it for Hitler's monument, that symbolically it should be used for our monument. Hold on 1 second. I want everyone over here, everyone here, I want everyone talking.
Auf dem Platz, den wir stehen, jetzt, das gewinnt der Herz von jüdischen Gegend.
Where we're standing used to be the heart of the Jewish neighborhood.
Du sind gestanden Häuser, einer neben dem zweiten, 4-stockige, 5-stockige Häuser, neben jedem Haus, Gewölbe mit Speis, andere, vergaß jeden.
And on this place they had houses one next to the other, 4 or 5 stories tall, and on this street were only Jews. That's all there was.
Verwusste geworden aufgestellt der Denkmal auf dem Ort.
Why was there a monument on this place?
Bei dem 19. April 1943.
Because in April 19th, 1943,
im Geburtstag von Adolf Hitler,
on the birthday of Adolf Hitler,
es geht aber viel, die hitlerische Armee, die Armee, die Hitlers Armee, ist reinmarschieren, Warschauer Ghetto.
There was an order that the German army should march into the Warsaw Ghetto.
In liquidieren dem Ghetto,
physically liquidate the entire ghetto.
Das muss es noch im Ghetto gewesen, wo es 60.000 geben.
At that time, there were only 60,000 Jews left.
Die Deutschen sind rein für die Kreuzung, heute für die Kreuzung Sommerhof und Gensche.
They came from that corner, from Zammerhof and Gensche. Gensche was the street which we had straight, and they made a left, and they came to this place.
Und man reinmarschiert mit den Tanken.
They came in with the tanks.
Ist von der Heiser ist gefallen Schossen. Die jüdische Kampforganisation.
And they started with the
Geschossen für die Balkone und für die Fenster.
And when the Germans came in, they started shooting from the balconies on the German soldiers.
The resistance, the people.
Resistance, yeah.
Das war jetzt in dem Tag, dem 19. April 1943 hat sich faktisch ungeheuer der Aufstand der Warschauer Ghetto.
So on that day, in April 1943, was the beginning of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising.
In Ghettos gewesen, wird klar, ist in Ghetto gewesen 500.000 Juden.
In the ghetto, there were 500,000 Jews.
Aber es ist,
1 second. Can you hear me? Yeah. I want everyone talking during this. Come closer, everyone.
Aber wenn der Ghetto wenn der Aufstand ist aufgebrochen geworden, ich habe wie ich habe gesucht gewesen in Ghetto wo 60.000 Juden.
Yeah, but when
die Übrigen sind ausgeführt geworden auf heute Katholiken.
And so at the time of the uprising, there were only 60,000 Jews who lived here. The rest were taken to Treblinka to be killed.
Im Warschau behäupt bis im Jahr 1939. Jahr, das heißt bis zum Milchummer-Ausbruch, wenn Deutschland das überfallen Polen, auf dem Warschau gelebt 350.000 Juden.
At the time of the outbreak of the Second World War on September 8th, 1939, there were over 300,000 Jews who lived in Warsaw.
Das heißt, dass jeder dritte Person, jeder dritte Mensch in Warschau ist gewesen ein Jid.
That means every third person, 1 out of every 3 people were Jewish in the city of Warsaw.
Die Jiden sind weg konzentriert in dem Rayon. Jeder gewollt in ganz Warschau. Aber speziell in dem Rayon, dem Zuffenrayon, Nordrayon, sind die konzentriert die jüdische Bevölkerung.
The Jews lived throughout Warsaw, however, they were concentrated mainly in this region.
In Warschau sind rausgegangen 8 Zeitungen jüdische Sprache täglich. 8 jüdische Zeitungen täglich.
In Warsaw, they had 8 daily Yiddish papers.
In Warschau haben gespielt jeden Abend 3, 4 jüdische Theater in Jiddisch.
They had 3 or 4 shows, Yiddish shows in the theater every single night in the city of Warsaw.
Du sind herausgetreten große jüdische Akteure wie Jida Kamiska, Esther Rachel Kamiska.
They had great actresses, Ida Kaminska and Rachelska.
Die Mutter von ihr.
Her mother.
Du sind gekommen viel Gastro von den Vereinigten Staaten, Akteure wie Ludwig Satz, wie Großbart und andere. Aber das ist nicht so wichtig. Also du gewinnst ein jüdisches Leben. Du gewinnst ein Leben, wo es mit Jiden, bei Badrushim, Synagoges. Auf jeder Gasse hat er sein bei 15 bei Badrushim.
He said that over here was a Jewish life, a total Jewish life. On every street, there were synagogues and there were houses of study, Batei Midrashos. He said on every single street, you could have as many as 5.
In du herum, ihr seht du, es gewesen bloß Ziggy, Ruck, das Spur von Kaleben. So bloß gesehen, dass du kein Mensch nicht gelebt. Bloß
At that time, people came, they were dressed in rags, people who were emaciated, and all you saw over here was stones, and it was as if nobody had ever lived here before.
Wat je kunt zijn gevonden, du a Löffel, du a Teppel, du a Kuppel, a Spur, als a Bus mit mir leben.
You could see a spoon, a pot, a fork, as the only remembrance that people ever lived here.
I have a picture of it.
You have a picture of it?
Come.
Bring it.
Zdjęcie nam. Co pan opowiada? Come to me first. Can you see this end of the church spire over there between trees? Can you see? So look, it's the same church. It's the same church. It is that area just after the wall. This is how it was.
Ik ben Ziegel, zeker op dat zijde. Weet zo is gezien.
That's what it looked like.
And get the church up there.
Okay.
Wenn der Gassen, der Kantor, yes, you can. Wenn der Kantor Moshe Kosovitsky hat gemacht, der allemaal Rachmim, sie scheinen gut zählige Täuschen bei ihm. Sie sind wieder gefahren. Auf der Ehe, die Beine.
He said
And the same church from the area. So you can see what you see what is it?
These are pictures of living people.
Deren mitten, ich habe gekannt, der heißt Greenspan.
The one in the middle says he knew him. His name was Greenspan. The woman and the child protecting herself from the flame. Rivka Moskovska, she lives today in Lodz.
Gedenkt wohl solche geworden mit der Hilfe, weißen polnische Juden. Die polnische Juden haben gesagt, wir wollen nicht Kaschim, wir wollen Neusland. Jeder Jid hat gegeben, heute 2 Geduschen für sein Gehalt. Das läuft in das Moment.
Yeah, the Jews from Poland erected this monument. They did not want any foreign assistance, and it cost every Jew a month or 2 of pay in order to erect this monument.
Der Pfarrer steht der Aufschrift, das jüdische Volk, seine Helden und Martyrer.
That's why it says the Jewish people, their heroes, and their holy ones.
Aber Protokolls gedrückt tun. Kaum eine Hilflosigkeit. Du weißt, der Jid war auf der Stein. Aber auf der Stein, das heißt, wir haben Unmächtigkeit. Weiß euch, was die Granaten, die Wehen, aber Büffel, sehr weinig. Weiß, der Jid steht und haut schon die Kampf.
There's a Jew standing there holding a stone, because that's what they all had to do to fight against tanks who would throw stones. And on the bottom is a Jew who fell in battle.
Weil das ich im Denkmal, es kommen hochgestellte Leute für die ganze Welt.
At this monument come leaders from all over the world.
Dus gewinnt der Papst.
Over here was the Pope.
Dus gewinnt President Carter.
Over here was President Carter.
Dus gewinnt President Nixon.
Over here was President Nixon.
Dus gewesen Willy Brandt.
Over here was Willy Brandt
from
West Germany.
Gefallen auf die Knie.
He went on his knees.
Nu pakkeven de Nobelprijs. De Nobelprijs, takje de Fahrer. Dus gefallen auf die Knie.
And he got the Nobel Prize for this because he fell on his knees.
Nu komen Christen.
We saw a group of Italian Christians.
And you should remember their sacrifice. And their merit should stand for all of us and all of Israel. Land, do not cover their blood. And do not be a place for their cries. In their merit, those who have been displaced in Israel should return to their inheritance. And these holy people should be remnants. Their righteousness should be a remembrance in front of God for always.
Yavo Shalom.
Peace should come.
Goes
one that they made up when they were in the concentration camps. I want to teach you the song. Ani Mamin, Ani Mamin, Me'yemuna Shehaleima, Bevias HaMashiach, Bevias HaMashiach, Ani Mamin, Bevias HaMashiach, Bevias HaMashiach, Ani Mamin, Ani Mamin, Ani Mamin, Be'yemuna Shehaleima, Bevias HaMashiach, Bevias HaMashiach, Ani Mamin, Bevias HaMashiach, Bevias HaMashiach, Ani Mamin, Yerushalayim,
de occupatie, de nazi's zijn door gewesen, om het in een huis of heel laag te houden in naar Bunker.
Then
Dus ik in de tijd in de Duitsers naar rein. De Duitsers naar rein. De tijd voor de ocupatie.
From this place, die Platz reflected in hier?
Nein, nein. Nur gewesen, nur schon das Haus bei Uhr 18.
Ja.
Uhr 18, und das lieben Gebäude Bunker. Lieben Gebäude Bunker. Mit eingeholt für die letzte Einrichtungen. Das geht von das Krieg, den Deutschen
Right. So under Mila 18, they had a bunker, and it was they organized it so it should be camouflaged as a home, but it was a nerve center for the Jewish resistance.
In 43 is uitgebrochen de ghetto stand.
In 1943, when the uprising in Warsaw began.
Als het stad in ghetto stand, bloot gaan jullie niet gevinden op stille gas, andere gas.
Well, Mordechai Levitz was on another street down there when the uprising began.
Duitsland dort unbekend gehalten Reise. Jede Seite.
Great. It's great.
So the Germans destroyed and burned down those houses, so Mordechai Levitz and his people came to here, to this bunker.
Die Bunker ist geworden am 8. Mai 1943 ist der Bunker aufgedeckt geworden durch die Gestapo, die Nazis.
On the 8th of May 1943, this bunker was uncovered by the Nazis through the Gestapo.
Bis der heutige Club ist nicht bewusst, wer ist ausgegeben das Haus. Sie sind Verrat oder sie sind Zufall.
Until this very day, it is not known who revealed the place of this bunker. Was meinst du da?
Verrat, zu viel ausgegeben, am Messier.
Am Messier von
Jeden? Nicht für jeden. Den Verlag mit den Zahlen. Man weiß nicht, sie sicher, man weiß nicht.
Man weiß nicht, ob es Verrat oder was.
Oder es Verrat oder es hat Zufall. Oder so
They don't know if it was one of the people spilled the beans or if it was just a accident that they found it.
Die Deutschen gegeben aber viel. Als der Stab soll sich untergeben, soll kapitulieren.
The Germans gave an order that they should surrender and they should give up.
Sie sind nicht Masken gewesen,
they did not agree.
Sie haben beschlossen zu begehen Selbstmord.
And they all agreed to commit suicide.
Der erste hat erschossen, Anielewitsch hat erschossen sein Mädel, sein Geliebter gewesen, sein Mutter.
Anielewitsch shot his girlfriend.
Nu hat sich allein erschossen.
And then he killed himself.
Und die Jüdischen haben sich erschossen.
And everyone there shot themselves.
Die Deutschen haben reingeworfen Gasbomben.
The Germans threw in gas bombs.
Aber drei sind geblieben bei dem Gas und sind geblieben noch bei Gas nicht, aber sie sind nicht mehr tot.
There are 3 people who were gassed but not dead.
Die Jüden haben sich gefunden. Hangraje, Sigalubetkin, Zuckermann.
The 3 people, Sangraya, Zuckerman, and who else? Sivilubetkin.
Aber sie gefunden auf der polnischen Seite.
They were on the Polish side.
Die Seite sind durch Kanal, durch den unterirdischen Kanal,
Yeah, through the underground tunnels from the other side.
Die wollten sie herausretten.
They wanted to save them. When they came, they were all dead.
Das Haus, das was man sieht, das ist für dem Haus gewesen.
This floor is still from that house.
In dem Haus ist das alles geschehen. Das Haus ist ein Buch.
There's a book by Leon Uris.
Mila 18.
This is in the house?
Das ist alles für Haus. Nein, das nicht.
This is all the foundation. Then a Klein High School?
Yes.
Klein High School.
Ah, the Haus ist viel Schnee.
Oh, it was a 5-story house.
The bunk, wait a second, yeah. I thought we were right now higher. Rabbi, I thought right now, even over there on that grass, we're 8 feet long. I mean, 8 kilometers. No, 8 meters. I mean, 8 meters high. 8 meters higher.
Und die Nazis beschlossen, den gültig liquidierenden Wahlschutz.
The Germans decided to liquidate the Warsaw Ghetto.
In der Reue schicken alle Juden Katrellin.
And to send out all the Jews to Treblinka.
Sie haben gesucht, als die Juden fuhren auf Arbeit.
They told the Jews were going to work.
Und dort werden sie keine überleben im Krieg.
And over there they'll be able to live through the war.
Da ist es gewesen, der Judenrat.
And Warsaw was the Judenrat, the Jewish government.
Wenn ich die Spitze für den Judenrat gelesen, Adam Chernyakov.
The head of the Judenrat was Adam? Adam Chernyakov.
Die Deutsche, die SS, sie können die Gewinnen, ist so zwischen wegen 10.000 Juden, aber wirklich die Familie gemacht.
And the Germans asked them that every day they should send 10,000 Jews for work to Treblinka.
Jedem gegleich, durch Adam Chernyakov gegleich, a das ist Tag von Farbe. Und sie ist Leben klug 10.000 Juden.
Right. The people and also Adam Chernyakov believed him that they were going to work and they would send them.
That's why Chernyakov committed suicide? Just focus on the people talking. I guess that's why Chernyakov committed suicide.
No, sie ist hat gegläubt die Deutschen, a das ist Tag ein Lager für Arbeit, nicht auf Umkommen.
The people believed that there was a work camp and not to be destroyed.
Aber so die Chemiker schimmel die ist, sind die Menschen sich unterwegs geschehen.
But nobody ever heard any news from the people who were sent away.
Also die Chemiker schimmel die.
There were no letters that ever came back.
Wie gesagt, das Gefühl ist, wie einer Salmen Friedrich, das hat er gewissen.
Yeah, and he said there was one person by the name of Zalman Friedrich who he showed you.
A Jid mit a gut Neusehen. A gut Neusehen hat geheißt, dass nicht ähnelt zu Gehid.
A good-looking Jew, which meant that he didn't look like did not look like a Jew.
Und ist mitgefahren mit der Bahn, mit dem Zug, mit der Transport Jiden.
He went with the train.
Er ist gekommen zu fahren und gesucht die Jiden im Ghetto. Das ist kein Arbeitslager, das ist ein Lager von Umkommen.
Right, so he came back and he said that this is not a work camp, but it's a extermination camp.
Also ich habe kein Treblinka hat gesehen keine Spur für kein Leben.
He went to Treblinka and he did not see a single sign of life.
Sind herausgefunden, 10.000 bei Jiden. Wie hätte ich kein Stimme, kein Leben.
He went there and he said there was sending out daily 10,000 Jews and there was not even a voice, not even a sound.
Gesehen, ein Räuch von der Krematorium.
All you saw was the smoke from the crematorium.
In einer Reihe von Menschenfleisch.
And a smell of human flesh.
Sie kamen in den Ghetto rein.
He came to the ghetto and he gave over that news.
Und hat gesagt, Jiden geht nicht freiwillig zum Tod, hat Treblinka durch das Umkommen.
He said Jews don't go willingly to your death. Treblinka means the end.
Und wenn es gekommen, wenn der Obersturmführer, der Gestapo, Höffler, gekommen zu Chernyakov und hat doch 10.000 Juden.
And when the head of the Nazis, Hefler, asked for another 10,000 Jews,
hat gesagt, ich kann geben bloß 3 Menschen. Mir, die Frau und die Tochter.
So who said that?
Chernyakov gesagt zu dem Gestapo.
Chernyakov told Hefler that only 3 people can go, me, my wife, and my tochter, my daughter.
Mehr ist geschehen.
No more I'll give you. We will not send the Jews to death anymore.
Der Nazi hat ihnen gegeben 15 Minuten Zeit zum Betrachten.
The Nazi gave 15 minutes to think it over.
Noch die 15 Minuten, wenn er reinkommt in das Kabinett.
And 15 minutes when he came into the room.
Be louder, Rabbi.
Hat Chernyakov nicht gelebt.
When they came back into the room, Chernyakov was no longer alive. He took cyanide, poison, and killed himself. Every day they brought over here 10,000 Jews. From this place, they sent away 450,000 Jews.
Over here with trains.
Wagon and trains.
And this is what it looked like. Also hat es ausgesehen?
Das habe ich gesehen. Das ist ein jüdischer Policeman.
The Jewish policeman.
In Getter gewinnt jüdische Polizei.
Kennen ist nicht gegangen, nachdem kein Treblinka?
Nee, sei sie nicht später in der Treblinka.
Aber ich weiß. Aber
die Polizei bespricht.
Nachdem wenn Jakob hat gesagt, die gehen nicht, ist kennen nicht gegangen?
Ich kann nicht gegangen, freiwillig. Da wird gegangen, was mir Holz zu holen. Und die liefen ihn zu sein, so zuständig. Und was hier gesucht, die Jiden, sie werden größer hingehen. Hat die Jiden gesucht, dass jeder Jid so viel freiwillig her. Wird bei Kimme 3 Kilo Brot und 1 Kilo Marmelade.
So after that time, the Jews will promise that in order to because Jews are no longer coming willingly, they promised any Jew who came would get 3 kilos bread and jam.
The hunger is gewesen sehr groß in Getter.
The starvation was great.
Menschen sind gestorben von Hunger.
People were dying from starvation.
Jeden freiwillig gekommen, vielleicht sind wir gekommen 3 Kilo Brot.
People came just to get the bread.
Und einmal so gut essen, sei satt, sein Tod schmeckt.
It's better to be full and once and die afterwards.
Du sie haben ja eine jüdische.
Shaki give them the bread?
Ja,
they did give them the bread.
Jüdische Mädler, also ja, so eine jüdische Mädler.
There's Jewish girls just like you.
Sie sind ja in ungeteilte weiße Fartuche.
They were wearing white robes.
Mit der Band verrückten Kreuz.
And wearing the Red Cross.
Ich habe gesehen, eine Schwester oder eine Mutter, ist eine Mutter. Das einzige Sache, was ich kennt, die Mutter ist gewesen Sam. So man darf von früher kein Treblinka.
The Jewish Culture Committee for the Jews in all of Poland. And also over here, we have the editor of the only Yiddish paper in the entire... Over here is the editor.
I'm sitting near him. I can't sit down, I have to keep on scanning. Ooh, piano, can we play? Polish piano. Doesn't open.
As Eichert van Baltimore, he is president in the Durham, America, in Miami, Virginia, Florida. Eichert is in Miami. Monica Ness is in Washington, D.C., yeah. Deborah Price in Washington, D.C. She is from a klein state of Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania?
Lancaster, yes.
Dus is als student. Maar kent ze als student president?
I don't think so, John.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you sure?
That's the national president for NCSY ISIS. NCSY. NCSY. The national
Nationale Federatie.
Federatie von Synagogue Youth.
Synagogale Jugend.
Ja. Aber das sagt, wenn die Kinder sind nicht in Synagogen. It's happened nicht.
Yes. Tell he told us that we should come also, that we should come and say.
Yeah. Er hat gesagt, dass wir so leicht besuchen, wenn wir sind in der Parlament.
Er ist gewesen bei uns.
Seth, yes, as the president, as the national president in Boston, Massachusetts, as the president of the ganze Medina von America Peninsula, South Carolina,
No, niet dat we recommendiert zu mir.
Sie ist von Memphis, Tennessee. Tiffany from Memphis, Tennessee, at Carrollton, Tennessee.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Judy Goodman, sie ist von Virginia. Virginia. Wusste das Sinn von einer Reihe? Das Sinn.
Mir kämen משואה לתקומה, מגן כאלה so, before durchpeilen, kein Krücke geht the only Jew in the entire Polish parliament, and he's also in charge of the Yiddish culture, Jewish culture. He's in charge of the Yiddish theater, and we were discussing that Benjamin Mead, who we all met before we came here, had told them that we would be here and we should meet with them. These are people who have been involved with Polish life for many years, and I was explaining to them that what we are and where we're from, and why we are here. And I explained that we are going to be all regal to go to Eretz Yisrael, but the way it should be, we should go in the footsteps of the Jewish history. The Yiddish historiker.
Die droegen van de Irische...
Wie is hij noemen? Wie heet ze?
Ik ga ze Yitzchak Lowenbraun.
Yitzchak Lowenbraun.
Alle kinderen in Bachni? Nog niet.
Mit was van hem te zeggen? Hoe is daar een business?
Ik arbeid met die organisatie. Ik ben een Bolton. Ik heb een region.
Ein Quartel, der Chefredaktor von der Jiddischer Wochenzeitung von der Volksstimme, in der Vizevorsitzender, der Vertreter für Präsident von Jiddischen Kulturverband in Polen.
He said he was already introduced, but he would like to introduce Mr. Kraterko, Avram Kraterko, who is the head, the editor of the Yiddish weekly, the Volksstimme, the Volksstimme, the voice of the people, and he's also the vice president of the culture committee.
In dem Freien Piasek, weißt ihr schon, ist der Vertreter von dem Chefredaktor von der Volksstimme,
Jiddischer Journalist.
Jiddischer Journalist, in begleitet Chaim.
And he said, you know, Mr. Piasek, who is the vice editor and the journalist, and he was traveling with us.
Der Freien Russ, welcher ist ein Mitarbeiter von unserer Redaktion, der Vorsteher vom Präsidium von Warschauer Komitee für den Jiddischen Kulturverband und der Fotoreporter von den alle Geschehnissen, welche befinden sich im Land.
So he's our friend Luz, who is a journalist and also the president of the committee for the Jewish culture here, and
Warsaw.
Warsaw.
Ihr befindet sich in einem jüdischen Haus. In dem Haus befindet sich die jüdische Kulturverwaltung, die Hauptverwaltung. Dann befindet sich der jüdische Theater. Dann befindet sich die Redaktion der Volksstimme. In die charitative Kommission von Joint von religiöse in Jiddischen Kulturverband.
He said, you're here in a Jewish house, and under this roof you have the committee for the Jewish culture, and then we're not right next to the theater, the Yiddish theater, and also from this place, Jewish culture is led in all of Poland.
Der Redaktion von der Volksstimme.
And also the editors of the Volksstimme.
Von Joint.
And also the representatives of Joint, which represents the not only the religious but all
American Joint.
American Joint distribution.
Ich weiß nicht, wie viel ihr kennt die jiddische Geschichte, aber wir treffen sich in einer kurzer Zeit, wollte ich gewollt in einer Telegraph sind übergeben euch, was es also ins
polnische Judentum.
So we're here only for a short time, and he would like to give over telegraphically a summary of what happened in Polish history throughout the ages, and he would like to try to be as brief as possible.
Auf der Erde 1000 Jahre bis dem Krieg haben gelebt 3,5 Millionen Juden.
On this ground, for 1,000 years, there lived 3.5 million Jews.
In Warsche, in der Stadt, auf 1 Million Einwohner, haben gewohnt und gelebt 400.000
In Warsaw, a city where there was 1 million residents, there were almost 400,000 Jews.
Auf der Erde hat aufgeblieben eine prächtige, plebejische jüdische Kultur.
On this earth blossomed a beautiful Jewish culture.
Jiddisch. Ein Stamm von der ganzen jüdischen Kultur. Hebräisch, Jiddisch und Polnisch.
And said that over here was the root of Yiddish, Hebrew, and also Polish culture.
Du auf der Erde hat sich geschaffen die größte chassidische Bewegung, welche darin genommen später in der Manier auf der ganzen Welt.
Over here began the Hasidic movement, which then blossomed throughout the entire world.
Die größte jüdische Schreiber, Peretz, Hans, große Dichter, sämtliche jüdische Zeitungen, Bücher, Volksschule, Tarbut, für Tausende Kinder, welche bekommen die jüdische Erziehung, die religiöse hebräische Erziehung auf der Erde.
On this ground also were the greatest Jewish writers, Ash and An, and thousands of Jewish children were taught and learned their religion and their culture for many years.
Musiker, Maler, Poeten, in Findanen, in Beulen ist gewesen, das Fiegele, in der jüdischen Kultur, welche ist gegangen über die ganze Welt.
Music, art, and Poland was the center for all this Jewish culture that then spread throughout all lands.
Die große Amerikaner-Schreiber, Sarah Bellow, Melamut, Heller, ich suche nicht wegen Bashevi Singer, weil schreibt in Jiddisch. Dus, die alle Wurzeln von sehr Arthur Miller, von sehr Schaffen, stammen von dannen, von Polen.
Even the American writers, so Bellow even mentioned Miller, and not to mention someone like Isaac Bashevis Singer, who writes in Yiddish, all had their roots in Polish culture. Polish Jewish culture.
Es ist schwer zu erzählen, wo du es gewesen. Es ist gewesen, ein preußendicke jüdisch Leben mit verschiedenen politischen Schattierungen. Die größte Führer von der sozialistischen Welt, von zionistischer Welt, von kommunistischer Welt, sind umgestanden von Polen. Von zionistischer Welt hat ja Ben-Gurion, in Irot, in Begin, Weizmann, Greenboy, Mitzvah Green, die alle Vierer, die haben geschaffen, Israel, stammen von Polen.
He said it's very hard to describe the rich life that was over here and the variety of different types of leadership, socialist and Zionist, and leaders such as Ben-Gurion and Dr. Weizmann and
Yitzchak
Greenbaum,
Begin, Shamir,
all
Peres,
all originally came from Poland. So they were the leadership which founded the state of Israel.
In dus, was man gebeut, 1000 Jahre, dus, was man geschaffen, 1000 Jahre, ist vernichtet, ermordet geworden in 4 Jahren durch die hitleristische Nazis.
And this, that was nurtured and created over 1,000 years, was ended and destroyed in just 4 years during the Second World War.
Es ist ermordet geworden, deine Kinder auf Volk. Nicht 6 Millionen Iden, nur ein ganz Volk, welches hat geschaffen, eine prächtige Kultur, welche nicht kein Ghetto-Kultur, sondern eine lebendige Kultur, welche hat emaniert auf andere Kulturen und Einfluss auf der ganzen Welt.
What was killed was not just 6 million people, but what was killed was a entire culture, an entire nation, a folk, a nation. And this nation, which was so central to the creation of so much Jewish culture over these ages, that was what was destroyed. Not just the people, but the.
In der jüdische Kulturverband, was hat eine kleine Haifele Jiden von 12 bis 15.000, was ist geblieben von 3,5 Millionen polnische Jiden, hat sich hergestellt bei der Arbeit zu uphieten, raten und voneinander wickeln, die rechtlich von der Kultur, was man doch gekannt raten, nur dem größten Grund.
And this Jewish Culture Committee that has brought together, that represents from 12 to 15,000 people that are left, from 3 million, have put them work together to try to save and try to nurture that what was left for Jewish people here in Poland.
Die polnische Regierung hat gegeben alle Möglichkeiten, wir sollen schaffen die Institutions, weil sie solch ein Teil von der polnischen Geschichte und von der polnischen Kultur.
And the Polish government has given the possibility to continue this, because it's not only a part of it's also part of Polish history. So together they are working together to keep this culture alive.
Ja, die Zeitung ist ausgehalten von Subvenz von der polnischen Regierung. Der Theater ist subventioniert von der polnischen Regierung. Der jüdische Kulturverband ist subventioniert von der polnischen Regierung. Die Kirche, die religiöse, ist subventioniert von Jolt.
That all these institutions are supported by the Polish government. The newspaper receives subventions from the Polish government. The Culture Committee receives some subventions from the Polish government, and also the Religious Committee, the religious community receives subventions and support from the Polish government.
Der Der jüdische Kulturverband führt eine breite Arbeit in 15 Gruppen in 15 Städten.
The Jewish Culture Committee runs 15 clubs in 15 different states.
Die demografische Lage für den polnischen Juden ist sehr nicht günstig.
The demographic position of the and situation for
Das ist die Arbeit für Club. Jedes Jahr gibt mir auf dem Undenken von Aufständen auf dem Warschauer Ghetto in Manifestations bei den Denkmälern, wie sie heinz sind hier gewesen, in den Auschwitz, in den Treblinka, in den Majdanek, in den Belzec, in den Sobibor, in anderen Lagers, wie sie liegen, jüdische Korbunes, gibt mir jeder Jahr Kuvet unsere Martyr.
and they are the ones who are in charge of the different gatherings, remembrances for the, like we were this morning at the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, and also in Auschwitz, Treblinka, Majdanek, Sobibor. They have remembrances for the Jewish sacrifices, the Kavanas that were over there. They're the ones in charge of these remembrances.
Der jüdische Theater, das ist ein professioneller, normaler Theater, welcher arbeitet im Land, im Vorteil über der ganzen Welt. Leider kann ich nicht wissen, weil das Theater, das ist die Aktionen sind ausgeflogen auf Vakanz. Wir haben 36 Schauspieler, zwischen sie, nein, nicht geliehen. No, nein, nicht geliehen. Wir haben ein Theaterstudio für Jugendliche, welche lernen den Fach. Und wir haben auch ein Pantomim-Theater, welches spielt morgen, aber morgen spielen wir bei Nacht auf dem Alten Markt von Perzen. Aber nee, morgen seid ihr schon nicht da.
He said that there's a Jewish theater, and there are 36 members of the Jewish theater. Only 9 of them are actors. Only 9 of them are not Jewish. They also have a school for Jewish theater. They have young people like you who are being trained. And they also have a pantomime theater. And unfortunately, the theater is closed now during July because the actors are on vacation. However, there is a pantomime tomorrow night, but we will no longer be here.
Wir spielen nicht nur im Land, wir spielen mit der ganzen Welt. Jetzt der Verjung, wir spielen in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Miami. Jetzt fuhren wir mit der Pantomime auch auf derselben. Wir haben gespielt in Argentinien, Uruguay, Brasil, Paris, London. Die ganze Zeit fuhrt der Theater und weist die jüdische Kultur über der ganzen Welt.
They don't only play here in Poland, but they've performed in the United States, in Chicago, and Los Angeles, and New York, and Miami, on off Broadway, and also that this year they're going to be going to South Durham.
Aber nicht auf Broadway.
Broadway? Be in Broadway.
Billy Rose Theater.
Billy Rose Theater on Broadway they were. You can't read me English.
No, ich verstehe.
You say yes. Broadway, Billy Rose Theater.
Get tickets at Teletron.
Dear children,
Das ist die Arbeit für das Theater. Die Arbeit für die Redaktion mit der Erzählung, der Chefredakteur. Ich will auch noch sehr kurz weisen, eine Sache. Jetzt in der Jahr herum haben wir 45 Jahre Aufstand in Warschauer Ghetto. Kommen zusammen mit Israel, mit Yad Vashem, mit anderen jüdischen Organisationen, kommen 1500 Kinder hierher zu fahren in April. Von der ganzen Welt.
In April?
In April. Kommen in April. 45 Jahre Aufstand in Warschauer Ghetto. Ich sage nicht, das organisiert Israel zusammen mit mir, mit anderen.
Okay. This April will be the 45th anniversary for the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, and they're planning to bring 1,500 children from all over the world to participate in that remembrance. And I asked why we don't know about it. He said he doesn't know why we don't know about it. But it has to do with the Israel government and also Benjamin Mead.
Man macht a quiz. A quiz, dus je bestellt Fragen en Entfang.
A quiz.
A quiz. Dus is a quiz, dus is Fuss, weißt du wegen Shoah?
There's going to be a quiz about questions about the Shoah, about the Holocaust, in regard with that as well.
Dus, was wir wollen, ist der Ziegre.
To what we were talking about before also, which with the monuments for the new monuments for the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising is being supported by the city and by the government, so that it can take place.
Von Warsche hat man herausgeführt in Teutlager Treblinka, in die Gaskammer.
From Warsaw, the Jews were taken to the death camps to Treblinka.
In Treblinka sind gehalten geworden 850.000 Juden, zwischen sie 300.000 Kinder.
In Treblinka, they killed 850,000 people, among them 300,000 children.
Vom Ghetto hat man gebracht einen Umschlagplatz. Das ist Deutsch. Die Ende, der Umschlagplatz, das ist gewesen der Tod. Also hat geheißen, und das ist der Monument von Ghetto. Das ist der Square von Schmidt-Siegelbäum. Ein Held, welcher ist gewesen in Ghetto. Ist gewesen ein Bundist. Einer von ungefähr vom Bund. Später hat man ihn rübergeworfen in London. Und ist gewesen in der polnischen Emigrationsregierung. Dort ist gewesen. Ist gewesen an Nedes. Und hat protestiert und hat gebeten, die Welt so raten in Eden.
Over there, he showed the area of the ghetto and
Schmied Siegelbäum.
He was a Buddhist, and he parachuted into London, and he went to tell the history of what was taking place with Polish Jewry, with the death camps, and he was able to tell them what was going on.
Hat gebeten. Ist gewesen in Amerika, ist gewesen in London, und hat geschrieben, ratet in Motti nicht geglaubt.
He was in London, and he was in America, and he asked for help, and they did not believe him.
Man gemacht eine Treffung mit Churchill. Hat gewollt, dass 10 Churchill an der Haare Eden. Und der Sekretär gesucht, dass hat nicht Zeit. In so nicht verdrehen im Kopf. Schmied Siegelbäum als ein Protest. Hat umgeschrieben einen Brief. Schmied Siegelbäum ist begangen Selbstmord. Hat sich gehalten allein in London. Die hat umgeschrieben einen Brief. Efter wird mein Tod unrühren die Menschen, die Führer von die Länder, welche werden bombardieren Auschwitz, werden bombardieren und austreten gegen die Nazis.
But Shmuel Ziegelbein made an appointment to see Winston Churchill, and when he came to his appointment, people will take notice of what was going on, so that they should bomb Auschwitz and Treblinka to stop the murder.
Das ist ein Platz. Das ist der Bunker von Anilewitsch. Anilewitsch ist gewesen ein Schommer, Zeil, der vier von euch stand für den Warschauer Ghetto. Sie liegen dort, in dem, dort, du sie sehr Keber, liegt Mordechai Anilewitsch, liegt Pinchas Kartin, sie liegen Zionisten, Bundisten und kommunistische Vier liegen alle zusammen, welches gewinnt der Stab von Warschauer, Aufstand der Warschauer Ghetto.
This is where we were just now, Mila 18 was that bunker, and that is also the grave of the leader of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, Mordechai Anilewitsch, and buried over there are Zionists, Bundists, Communists, all those people who were involved with the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising.
Nach dem Krieg hat Mordechai Anilewitsch bekommen eine von den größten Auszeichnungen heldische, den Kreuz für Grundwald der 3. Klasse hat bekommen als Held im Kampf gegen Nazismus.
After the war, Anilewitsch received the highest medal for fighting against the enemy and fighting against the Nazis.
Und du machen wir ein Weg von Undenk. Wir werden stellen auf den Weg